Hey there guys, welcome to this video. My name is Pushpinder Gill and today we're going to talk about conscious marketing. It's quite a switch from talking about segmentation, targeting and positioning and moving on to conscious marketing. It's because I like to talk about this topic quite early when I teach this principles of marketing course wherever I teach them. I don't want to put this topic right at the end and to show that, I'm just talking about it because I have to talk about it. I feel it is very important for marketeers to be socially responsible and ethical because marketeers tend to take decisions, and the marketing department or people or firms or organizations in general take decisions which can have negative implications for its stakeholders. That could be customers, that could be their suppliers, that could be the society in general. So it becomes absolutely important that you remain grounded in ethics and social responsibility. So what is conscious marketing? So conscious marketing basically have three principles. First, it recognizes marketing's greater purpose. Marketing's greater purpose, it's not just to increase firm's profit, but it's also to increase the well-being of its stakeholders, and customer being one of the most important stakeholder. So marketing does really talk a lot about making sure that the utilities increase. Marketing has done a lot of research on customer satisfaction, improving customer experience, so which is all about improving customers' utility, and not just customers but other stakeholders as well, because there's a lot of interdependence among stakeholders. If one stakeholder goes worse off, then it is possible that the whole community goes worse off. So it becomes absolutely important to take decisions which are ethically based and which are socially responsible decision. Now, conscious marketing comes a long way from corporate social responsibility, the buzzword which was talked a lot about in the early 2000s. While corporate social responsibility can be as simple as donating to a community or doing charity work, corporate social responsibility cares a lot about whether a firm is doing good ethically, socially, and environmentally. So all the aspects of social responsibility comes into play when we talk about conscious marketing. And I've kind of developed a table to talk about the differences between corporate social responsibility and conscious marketing. Well, corporate social responsibility is independent of corporate culture, the culture within an organization. So the culture within an organization can really be cutthroat or can really be something which is not ethical, but the firm just donates some dollars to charity and calls it socially responsible. Well, in conscious marketing, the overall firm's culture becomes conscious, ethically based, and every decisions that it takes is supposed to be ethically based. So when a firm adopts conscious marketing, it is not just taking one-off decision and being socially responsible. Every decision has a social responsible element in it. So that means that conscious marketing is actually going to take a holistic view of ethics, trying to understand the interdependence of stakeholders, and understanding that its decisions is going to have spillover effects. So if a firm engages in cost cutting, that could also mean that firm may actually lead to a lot of layoffs in the future. So that might not be a very holistic decision. So it takes a very holistic view. It takes a very, very bird's eye view of ethics. But on the other hand, corporate social responsibility, it's a very mechanistic view. And you must have seen these buzzwords that firm X donated Y amount of dollars to charity Z. And that's just one of thing that they do, while their overall culture may not be so ethical. So conscious marketing, which means conscious marketing tries to develop a relationship with its stakeholders and tries to perform better ethically, socially, and environmentally. So it considers environmental performance as as important as financial performance. Something that you would see with the likes of McDonald's, that they have a pledge. They have taken so many environmental pledges where they want to lower their carbon footprint, and they also are involved in charities, and they're also involved in ethical decision making. So we have come a long way from corporate social responsibility into conscious marketing. And what conscious marketing understands is that there are 4 major stakeholders that we have. We've got customers. It couldn't and firms, just in conscious marketing, you don't just care about your customers, but you also care about people who are not your customers. So that would involve the society in general. That could also involve potential customers as well as the environment. So no more taking advantage of a poor community somewhere in some part of the world, just so that because you can sell some more products in the developed world. That would not really be conscious marketing. And there have been many instances where companies such as Coca-Cola or Pepsi have been under scrutiny, and they have tried to improve upon their performance in those terms. The marketplace itself, your partners, your suppliers, even your competitors are your stakeholders, because any decisions that you take is going to influence your partners. I mean, take for example, if you look at the Detroit area, there are just few companies, few car manufacturers who have created a great ecosystem of suppliers, and they're all interconnected with each other. And in conscious marketing, they would actually want to take decisions which will not be detrimental to their suppliers. And last but not the least is the employees and their families as well. In conscious marketing, firms should take care of their employees. Something that is very, very important, because employees are the one who actually build the company, and as well as their families as well. So conscious marketing considers that as very important. So this is kind of this a 2x2 matrix which is there, which kind of tells you whether a company is following conscious marketing or not. In order for you to follow conscious marketing, you're supposed to be both ethical, you're supposed to have a code of conduct, as well as socially responsible. There can be many firms which are ethical, which means they're ethical, they have a good code of conduct, they have a good culture, but they don't communicate with the larger community. They don't get involved with the larger community. Then, which means you're being ethical, but you're not really being socially responsible. On the other hand, there can be firms which are socially responsible, which means they do donate a lot to the community, but they themselves have a lot of unethical standards. So there have been many examples of that in the past. For instance, the cigarette industry was involved in hiding this fact that tobacco consumption can cause cancer. So that was not really ethical of them, but they also donated a lot to the community, a lot to charity. So they were being socially responsible in that sense. So you don't want to be in this zone at all, where you are neither socially responsible nor ethical. You don't want to be in there. You don't want to create a culture of being unethical, and also not really donate to charity, or not really be part of a larger community. So it becomes really, really important to be part of this group, and it pays off as well financially, because consumers, because of social media, because of availability of all the information, have access to information, which firms are being ethical and which firms are being socially responsible, and they do repay the firm's actions through their dollars. That's something which has become more and more important. So it actually pays off to be ethical and socially responsible. And last thing, I want to conclude this talk by saying that firms are embedded within an environment. Organizations, they do not operate in a silo. So they are embedded in an environment. And what firms typically do is they just think about their immediate environment. They just think about their customers. All they want is they want to sell more to their customers. Well, that's very narrow or silo based thinking, and they have to take a holistic view and understand that their actions just not influence their customers but actually influence the other environment. For instance, it influences their competitors, it influences their partners, as well as the physical environment, which will be the macro environment of a firm. But it also influences or it's influenced by the culture that they're embedded in, the demographics of customers or people around them, the social culture, the technology, and economic factors of their environment. So for instance, if you are in a recession, that's the economic environment is going to influence them, and they might also have a say if they are a big firm in the economic environment of the country in which they're in. Same goes for political and legal ramifications. The companies have faced a lot of, for instance, Apple has faced a lot of political ramifications of being in China. Same goes for TikTok. They have also faced a lot of political ramifications by being affiliated to China. So those things influence you, and you in turn influence them. So it becomes very important for a firm to understand its environment and take a holistic view of their decision making. Take a step back before you take any decisions. Take a step back before you start cost cutting. Take a step back before you engage in some sort of diversification strategy, or if you start investing in a new product line, or if you take off a product line. So you have to understand what implications will it have on you, and what implications will you have on other. And that's essentially what the job of marketing is. So I'm just going to end it here, guys. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.